Hey, it's Cody. Today I'm going to answer a question that I've gotten a couple times. What do I do for pest control in my garden? We don't often deal with a lot of pests in our raised bed gardens, but one of the reasons we don't deal with pests is because we do something called intercropping. That means that all of my beds have multiple different plants in them. That helps with the diversity in the bed. It helps to bring in different types of beneficial insects to help with pollinating and other things. And it also helps to confuse the insects and things like aphids that are not good for the plants, because there's so many different smells happening that they do not come and attack. It also is helpful to have some of my plants planted in many different places. So I have onions in 4 different locations in my garden. So if I have an issue with insects in one area, I'm not going to lose my entire crop because I have them scattered throughout my garden. That is one thing that has been really beneficial. Another thing that we do is we use a powder called Diatomaceous Earth. Diatomaceous earth is made from diatoms. They're these tiny little creatures, I don't know what you call them. And this powder, when you dust it over top of the plants, when an insect crawls across it, it's a really sharp powder, and it scrapes the insects and it causes them to die. And so we often will dust our plants when a dew has fallen. We will dust the tops of them, and that will help the leaves especially to keep from getting eaten so much. And we do that several times throughout the season. Usually by the time it rains, it's washed off and you have to start over again. So we like to keep diatomaceous earth on hand for any of those type of situations. We also like to plant companion plants within the garden. So for example, I have Brussels sprouts, and I just learned this year for the first time that mustard's not a great thing to put with Brussels sprouts. So we had to move our mustard, and instead we put basil next to the Brussels sprouts. That's going to help to bring in the good bugs and to deter the bad bugs. We do the same thing with tomatoes. We will intercrop basil all throughout our tomato beds, and that will help to bring the good stuff and deter the bad stuff from coming. Overall, we do really well and don't have much of a problem, but when we do have a problem, we like to use a natural solution to help deal with it. So we often will use a product called Thieves Household Cleaner, and it is an all-natural essential oil-based cleaner that we can spray onto our plants. We also have Thieves Dish Soap, and that will help it to stick onto the leaves of the plants. And then there are different essential oils that we will use to help deter pests from coming around. Peppermint, cinnamon bark, oregano, basil, all of those are really great options to deter little critters that we don't want there. And so those are some of our go-tos when we're dealing with unfriendly things in our garden that we really don't want to be there. But overall, we don't have a huge problem. One of the biggest issues we have are bunnies. Every once in a while they will come in and uproot our plants. They don't destroy our garden, but they like to get in and cause mischief. So we just keep an eye on them, and we like to check on our garden multiple times a day, and if we see a problem we can head it off pretty quickly. But overall, that's what we do for pest control.